a particularly interesting tract I came across recently that some theists will use to argue objective versus subjective morality is that people wear clothes. I came across this one that's supposed to get people thinking. Basically, the argument is, we as humans wear clothes. We all wear clothes, so we know wearing clothes is right, so it is an objective principle. Since that objective principle exists, objective morality exists. Well, I'm an atheist and I normally wear clothes, so I figured this would be a fun little argument to take on. But, since the argument is that we shouldn't wear anything, alright, let's get this discussion going. The author of the webpage, Devin Rose, claims he knows why people, at least Christians, wear clothes. The Christian answer is, people wear clothes, especially over their private parts, to avoid or reduce the chance of someone lusting after them. Lust exists. One person can seek to use another person for their own ends, making them an object. This is sinful evil. As you can see from this, there is absolutely no worry that I will install feelings of lust in anyone with this body. Also, this destroys the point of the original argument. If there is a reason for wearing clothes, in this case, the claim that it inspires lust, then the reason for wearing them is subjective, not objective, as the author originally claimed. The reason I wear clothes is that people have been conditioned to wear them, that certain reproductive and feeding parts in this culture are expected to be covered. It has become so ingrained into our collective consciousness that we put on clothes almost without thinking. And honestly, for protection. With this skin, in any kind of direct sunlight, I'd probably burst into flames, right after the light reflecting off my pale body blinded everybody in a 100-meter radius. The author tries to cut off some of the expected atheist arguments, that wearing clothes can be for protection, or it is cultural and not universal. Atheists will respond in varying ways. People wear clothes to protect themselves from the elements, or some native/African/Amazonian tribesmen don't wear clothes. You can just bring it back to the fact that you and they wear clothes and ask why that is. And why not, if it's warm out and you don't need clothes, you don't just take them off that day. The first is that I would probably be arrested, since public nudity in this culture is a crime. Secondly, many others would not appreciate me flaunting myself, and I do respect the feelings of others around me. And since you bring it up, if some groups do not wear clothes, even if we do, doesn't that also dispute your assertion that wearing clothes is an objective truth? Since not everybody does it, the author then goes on to equate wearing clothes to harming children. Not that not wearing clothes harms children, but somebody attempting to harm a child is the same morally as not wearing clothes. Eventually, you get to morality. They may still argue that it is culturally conditioned, but it leads to other examples. What if someone tries to hurt your child, if they are a parent? Would you say that that person's actions were morally neutral? Would you really argue that it was simply genetically bred into you to protect your child? Isn't it instead true that you loved your child and this goes beyond mere animal instincts, etc.? As I've said in other videos, I, and from what I've noticed most people, get the morality from the harm one action would take compared to a different action. The comfort I would feel getting to walk around free from clothes would be less than the discomfort others would have from seeing me naked. Therefore, I put on clothes when I go outside. We are social animals. We have a genetic need to consider the harm that others will suffer because the ones who worked with others instead of harming them survived and passed on those genes that condition us not to harm other people. We love our children and want to protect them, again, because of evolution. People who did not love and protect their children had a lesser chance of their genes being passed on, while those that did protect their children had a better chance of those child-protecting genes surviving in their offspring. In my experience, atheists won't concede much, but the discussion is good. The reason atheists won't concede much is because you have not brought up anything to concede. You have not brought up any points that an atheist cannot argue, and your attempts to cut off many of their rebuttals goes nowhere or even strengthens the case against your point. Wearing clothes is culturally ingrained in all of us. My kids needed to be taught to wear clothes, and as toddlers would not think twice about running outside naked. But they were taught it was important to wear clothes, and that teaching stuck. That is also why there are nudist colonies out there, where the cultural taboo of having to wear clothes is not needed. If there's an objective reason to wear clothes, not the subjective ones we have been exposed to, children would not need to be taught to wear them, and nudist areas would not exist anywhere, and all cultures would be uniform in the body parts that need to be covered. Yes, we all wear clothes in this society, for there are various reasons to make it subjectively understandable to do so, and not objectively necessary to do so. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's a beautiful day out there, I think we'll go enjoy it.